Trump's administration was encouraging people to snitch on Canadian doctors for providing trans healthcare. Yep, that's right. Canadian jurisdictions were listed on a US anti-trans snitch site. It encouraged people to report on doctors in Canada who provide gender-affirming care to children, signaling a chilling new cross-border reach in its anti-trans agenda. The website was launched in April, soliciting tips about the so-called chemical and surgical mutilation of children, echoing the language of Donald Trump's executive order attempting to block gender-affirming care for those under 19 years old. As you can see, the website's drop-down menu included Canadian provinces and territories as well as the Canadian Armed Forces. This effectively allows reports to be filed against Canadian healthcare providers north of the American border. When pressed for an explanation by Pivot and the breach, the US Health Department removed Canada from the form, so you don't see this anymore. Canada's initial inclusion in this forum sparked fears that the reports could be used to establish watch lists, detain Canadian healthcare providers at the border, or even take legal action against Canadian healthcare professionals. Gender-affirming care for minors is legal and available in Canada, and the US has no legislative power in Canadian jurisdictions, points out Florence Ashley, who's a lawyer and bioethicist. As well as trans rights activist Celeste Trinon puts, this original form amounts to a violation of Canada's sovereignty. This snitching form followed an executive order from the Trump administration late this January, which was called Protecting Children from Chemical and Surgical Mutilation. The order aimed at ending access to gender-affirming care for children, a focal point of Trump's second presidential campaign. Since then, an exodus of trans and non-binary Americans to Canada has begun to take shape, with some even seeking asylum. With Canada locked into a tariff war with Washington, the country could face pressure tactics to repeal certain laws protecting LGBTQ+ people in exchange for a trade agreement. If you want to read this full article in English, you can read it at breachmedia.ca, ou si vous voulez lire en français, c'est à pivot.quebec.